by sticking around. The gang online, Iwo Jima got one flag and a stick in the ground, setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles and press of the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Pins on the jacket, the man's abundant. The point of the road was banned and rugged. Hushing, I'm applying no pants in London. The products are not being scared of some judgment. Gotta stay in the cut you off if you ain't making the cut. Couldn't tell you who the hell is behind us. You start to forget when you stay in front of it's up. And it's up for grabs, no remorse of who I'm taking it from. Numbers I give on my scoreboard is the only form of us staying in touch, that's staying enough. It's time to receive for all of the favors I've done. Too late for y'all to switch teams, everybody getting big leagues. Product flying out the shelf, what's in store for us? Known to hit a hole in one, look at the crowd and shoulder shrug. Shots are limited, I'm scared mango with the golden gun. Posted up, ready for whatever, boy, you know what's up. Time's close, I whittled them down, sticking to them by sticking around. The gang online, Iwo Jima got one flag and a stick in the ground, setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles and press of the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Shout out to Steve. The boy getting love from the harsh critics. Strides take me bi-weekly, the time me keep taking it further. You aren't finished and I gotta listen. Ain't son of believing and see that I'm actually breathing and doing it real time. Love to pull an idea out thin air, act on it and profit in real life. If we not aligned, don't present me a dotted line. Yeah, I'm a QB, but I ain't handing on nothing for someone to monetize. And it goes to the birds too, can't give it a time if a dollar's a cut of eyes. They get X'd out, for they had the potential to be my ex. I know all the plays, I'm a seasoned vet. Yeah. Always showing up, known to hit a hole in one. Look at the crowd and shoulder shrug. Shots are limited, I'm scared mango with the golden gun. Posted up, ready for whoever, boy, you know what's up. Time's close, I whittled them down, sticking to them by sticking around. The gang online, Iwo Jima got one flag and a stick in the ground, setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles and press of the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Time's close, I whittled them down, sticking to them by sticking around. The gang all out, Iwo Jima got one flag. Yeah.
Where you from?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. What is going on, Candle Mafia? Shout out to Dave Digital. I see that super chat. I will come back to you in just a second, but thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your precious time here with the Candle Mafia and your boy Frankie Candles to do 2 full hours of TA on an asset that only goes sideways. I'm just kidding, guys. But as you know, Bitcoin has been pretty boring lately. But we are starting to get a little bit of a move down. Again, nothing really that dramatic, but I want to cover the price action, guys. Let you know those key levels to the downside that I am looking at. If this little move down, like I feel silly calling this a move down. It's very small. But we're going to be taking a look at those key levels to the downside that you have to be keeping your eye on, as well as some targets to the upside. In case we get a pump, I'm going to give you guys kind of where I am leaning bearish or bullish coming up in the short term. And we will be taking a look at a couple of altcoins tonight. But guys, yeah, the $7 dump. Shout out to Paul Wood. Yeah, it's like, it's absolutely crazy. But the cool thing is we are seeing what we were expecting on yesterday's stream. We are approaching some of those key levels of support where we were looking to potentially take some long positions. So I do want to talk about that with you guys. And again, we will be checking out the altcoins. Might be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. Frankie Candle's famous last words, but we tried to end early last night, but by the time the fake out is over, it's basically a 2-hour stream, but, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. We are working on a lot of really cool stuff, guys. I was working all day on something really, really cool that we may have teased very, very lightly on the stream here, but I was working all day on that specific thing. If you know, you know. But yeah, we got a lot of really cool stuff going on for the channel as we start moving into the bull run. So like I said, may start to maybe like hop off on the boring days a little bit early so I can continue doing that work on that stuff to bring you guys even more value and even more content and maybe some new stuff we've never offered before. But guys, either way, it's going to be an amazing live stream. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight. Obviously, guys, we got that bearish XRP news. The SEC looking to appeal the XRP case here. Yeah, XRP just started trading on Gemini. Interesting. So that's interesting. Kind of good. But we also got the FUD. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we're going to be taking a look at XRP as well today, guys. But I also want to Shout out to Cheeks. I see you. Frankie is the value area high. Shout out to Paul Wood. Yeah, Crypto Anon says FUD. Could be. Very interesting that they're getting listed on Gemini, but they got that bearish news coming out with the SEC. But we're going to take a look at XRP. What is the chart saying? Is it going up? Is it going down? I'm going to let you know everything. Obviously not financial advice. But guys, I also want to take a look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames and really talk about if we do get a bigger move down here, what are those levels that we expect to come down to? So I want to take a little bit of a zoomed out as the price action on the short-term time frames has basically been chopping up and down. We'll cover that super quickly, and then we'll jump onto the higher time frames and then right into the altcoins. But like I said, on the boring days, we might hop off a little bit early to work on some of the other stuff we got going on for the channel. And guys, oh God. Oh, just wait, guys, just wait. But anyway, guys, before we jump into it, let's go ahead and say who is going on in the Candle Mafia? What is going on to the Candle Mafia? Let's see who we got in here. We got Dahal said, man, that XRP front ran me at about 0.18 cents. Shout out to Dahal. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. Shout out to Kush Patel said, let's make 5-minute streams. All right, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'm just kidding, but what is going on, man? Crypto Cowpoke in the house. We got Donato Cabrera in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you. Nate Anderson, as always, happy to see you, my man. We got Greg Gonzalez says, throw it up. He's talking about that X. Let's get it. Shout out to Creighton C, our like police. And speaking of likes, guys, smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, where you guys will all have multiple chances to win a giveaway. And if we hit 550 likes on tonight's live stream, I'll tell you what, I got a brand new Frankie Candles hat this morning. This afternoon, it wasn't the morning. I got a brand new, black on black Frankie Candles hat today, as mine were all destroyed. I had like one in every color. They were all destroyed. But speaking of that, guys, smash that like button. If we get 550 likes, I will be giving away. Maybe we'll add some hats to that giveaway. So smash that like button if you have not already. Shout out to Landon. What is going on, brother? Let's see. Landon says money flow is looking bullish. Bullish on Frankie today. Let's go. Shout out to Landon. Said just missing the dope Peaky Blinders cut today. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Should we do a hair reveal? Matt, just pull it out. Actually, we'll do a hair reveal maybe on tomorrow's. I was gonna pop it up. Like, what would you guys do if I pulled off my hat and it was just like perfectly gelled? It's not. Oh, actually, it doesn't look too bad. But it's not gelled. But yeah, guys. Shout out to Landon, Tyler Durden, guys. Don't forget to show some love to our mods in the chat. They make my life so much easier than it needs to be, or than it used to be, I should say. Shout out to Chemistry Bro in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, Deep Eddie Crypto, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk. Tyler Durden, did I say? I don't know if you guys know who they are. Show them some love in chat. I appreciate them so much, and I know you guys do as well. Shout out to Chemistry Bro, says the real value area is here on the Frankie Candles stream. # value. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. I appreciate you. Doc Holiday in the chat. We got Sir Quest. Top. What is going on, bro? He says smart, bro. Let's see. Crypto Infinity. We got Jose in the chat. We got Bailey Armstrong, as always, showing love to the mod. Shout out to Bailey and his horseshoe mustache. Shout out to Local 11. Sin Diesel. I love that name, bro. Sin Diesel's fire. Steven Atwell, bullish on Parade. Welcome in, everybody. And without further ado, let's go ahead and give me 2 seconds to move my OBS off my main screen. And now let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Here we go. All right, guys, here we are on XRP. I'm kidding. We don't want to start on XRP. We want to start XRP. We want to start on Bitcoin. Here we go. Mouse giving me trouble right out the gate here. But, guys, let's go ahead and turn off that TA, pull off the indicators, and let's just go ahead and take a look at what we got going on the higher time frames. Well, actually, let's pull back up Market Cipher B. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to start off. I want to start off with taking a look at the higher time frames. So on the higher time frames, guys, it does look like our VWAP on the weekly is starting to work its way back up towards that 0 line. And this is kind of like a mixed bag, right? Because this would indicate that we could be finding a local bottom here or somewhat of a significant bottom here. However, this is not printing the green dot just yet. It is, we do have a little bit here to go. I don't know if we're going to print this green dot in the next 3 days or if it's going to take a whole nother week. But that is kind of what I'm looking at here, guys, to expect if we are going to get a move to the upside of, a move that is of some significance, right? So this is kind of what I'm looking at. The good news is, as you guys know, we've been looking at this money flow continuing to come up, which is definitely a good sign in the long run. Now, I've been kind of breaking this down, talking about, oh, hey, Mrs. Candle's in the chat. Hang on. Is that true? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Oh, Mrs. Candles is literally in the house. Let me get a hand in here, Mrs. Candles. Come on, show it off for the mafia. Look at the hands. Look at the hands, guys. Look at the nails. Look at the nails. Those are some fancy nails, Mrs. Candles. What are you eating here? Pop chips? There you go. Little pop chips. Well, wait, we're not sponsored. You got to get that out of here. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. I thought they were saying in the chat. How'd you guys know she was in here? She walked into the room as soon as you guys said that. Oh, she was in the chat. Always lurking, that Mrs. Candles, isn't she? But, yo, Ben, waist up. Shout out to you guys. But, guys, let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in here. Money flow on the weekly starting to come up. And, again, guys, like I said, until this money flow crosses over into the red, I do think there's a possibility to continue this move to the upside. Now, if we do, now that does not mean that we are going to launch out straight up from here. However, we could potentially get a little bit more downside here, guys. So I kind of want to talk about that. Some key levels we need to keep our eye on. We're going to talk about, like, the bearish case. She usually has on those inflatable gloves. Shout out to Crypto Totoro. Yeah, she, I think she got a hole in one of them. They're out getting repaired. Yeah. You know, with that money flow coming up here, guys, that is a pretty good sign, right? So even if we do get a continued move down here, let's say that VWAP winds up getting a little bit of a rejection off that zero line. With the way the money flow looks, it does look like we could potentially continue this trend to the upside. So I want to take a look at those key levels on the macro and kind of talk about where we could potentially head, you know, without, you know, ignoring all this sideways, garbage, choppy price action. We will cover that as well, but it's going to be pretty brief as there's not much going on here. We are just simply stuck in the sideways range. It's disgusting. But shout out to Brian Peterson. Not to be confused with Jordan Peterson. Shout out to you, bro. Says, what's up, Mafia? Shout out to I almost said shout out to Jordan Peterson. Shout out to Brian Peterson. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Let's continue on here, right? So moving on to the, let's take a look at the 6-day. You know, VWAP, same story. Money flow still coming out on the 6th day, but your VWAP is rolling back to the upside. 5-day green dot is printing. So again, you know, we're going to talk about that in a second. 4-day green dot also printing as well. Your 3-day trigger wave is printing. And that did give us a pretty big move up. So we're going to have to see if this winds up continuing or if we are just going to put in that lower high and continue to the downside. And we're going to talk about that in a second. 2-day green dot confirmed. Money flow on the 2-day, guys, just does not really want to come back up. It's very interesting here. Looking for that money flow to roll back to the upside. It just doesn't want to do it. It just doesn't want to do it for whatever reason. I don't understand why we have the money flow coming up on the on time frames that are higher than the 2-day, but the 2-day does just not want to roll over, or I should say roll up. Is probably the verbiage I should use. So that is very, very interesting. Oh God, we got shout out. Hang on one second, guys. Let's see. Shout out to maybe Band-Aid or maybe a Band-Aid, as you guys might know him as. Thank you for gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. You're the man, bro. I appreciate you so much. But you know, I'm really looking for this money flow to roll back up on the 2-day. Other than that, moving on down to our daily VWAP, looking to cool off here. So let's just jump into the local price action, and then I want to talk about that macro once again, guys. Taking a look here. Actually, let's pull up that Bitstamp chart. As you guys know, we were looking at some specific levels yesterday. It actually all started on the BitBoy Crypto channel. And like I said, the interesting thing here is what we were looking for yesterday is basically playing out. So it all started on the BitBoy Crypto morning stream. Let me go ahead and turn on our regular candles. You can see here that we did wind up putting a 1-hour bearish divergence into this key level of resistance, which is not only our macro value area high, but also a golden pocket 786 retracement level. And this wick even came up and tested our second purple box. But as we put that bearish divergence in on the 1 hour, we were expecting a move to the downside. And then that move down did start yesterday. And then on the live stream yesterday, we were somewhere just kind of bing-bonging around here, looking for a potential retracement. And the retracement was honestly a little bit lackluster here. Like, we did not, I don't think we came down to the local golden pocket, like not even this local golden pocket. Yeah, pretty lackluster bounce here. We were looking for a potential move into one of these lower high areas where we have that golden pocket, but we didn't even get it, right? We just kind of like pushed up a little bit. Probably this golden pocket is what we rejected if I had to guess. Yeah. So came up and rejected a micro local golden pocket before rejecting back to the downside. But we had that continued move down. I was in a short position, guys. I have taken profits on that. But our key levels of support. So what we were looking for yesterday was a continued move down here, guys, being very careful of this bounce on our value area high. And this was kind of the key level we were looking at yesterday, saying if we're able to hold support on that value area high, that is likely where the bounce will come in to retrace back to this golden pocket. However, we did not get that, but we knew that once we got below that value area high and we could not get back above, we would be looking for a potential acceptance back into our local range here. And once that happened, we would expect to potentially come back down and test that point of control, which is also our local golden pocket retracement of our entire move to the upside. So as you guys know, like kind of yesterday on the stream, this was kind of the area we were looking to come down to potentially look for some scalp long positions. But I will say this, guys. I will say things are... This was basically the level. We did front run it just a little bit, so I will say I'm not necessarily convinced that we will come up directly from here. I would really prefer to see another move down into this golden pocket or POC to actually tap the level before actually looking for a new long position. And kind of what I would look for there, to be honest with you guys, would be like, once we come down to that golden pocket, looking for bullish confirmations on the lower time frames for a potential entry. Because if you come on over to the 4-hour and we zoom into Market Cipher, you could see our VWAP has been below the zero line for quite some time, and it is starting to finally curve back to the upside. So if we are able to get, maybe one last move down here, 12-minute red dot looking to print, if we can get that next little rip to the downside, come tap this level, that would be kind of the real area. And again, like we got close, but we didn't necessarily tap the level. I would really like to come down and actually touch that golden pocket before looking for a potential scalp long back to the upside. But you have to understand that you got to be pretty careful with this, guys. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have our, I don't typically like taking trades in the middle of a range. I would much rather wait for a move down to the actual low of the range. It's simply just a higher probability trade. But I will be looking here, and the reason for that is because when you bounce and get a move out of your value area, which we did right here, we got to move out. A lot of times you will come back down and test that POC before breaking to higher prices. And with the 3-day trigger wave with the green dot, as well as the 4-day looking for a green dot, and the 5-day looking for a green dot. All of these VWAPs are rolling back to the upside, and you might be saying to yourself, wait, hang on, I thought all these green dots were printing. That's what you said in the beginning of the show, and you're right. That's because we were looking at Heikin-Ashi candles, and those green dots, oh wait, did they unprint? I guess they unprinted. Oh my God, yeah, I guess they did unprint. Interesting. Was there not a green dot on the 4-day? I guess this is just flashing, but with these VWAPs coming up, we have to anticipate a potential another move to the upside. But really, guys, it's kind of, and we're going to get to the higher time frames in a second, but locally, really what I'll be looking for, guys, is a potential another move down to this golden pocket before looking for a long position and then looking to ride it back up out of the range. But you just got to be careful once you bounce off that golden pocket that you're not going to get rejected again by that value area high. And if you don't, if you come down, you get a bounce, you get back over that value area high, I do think there's a possibility that you could potentially come up and take these highs before continuing back to the downside. But again, guys, like nothing has really changed, right? Like we were looking at price right here as we were starting to bounce off the value area low. I'll even pull that value area back to where it was yesterday. Like right here was kind of where we were looking, and on the lower time frames, actually. Let me spawn the levels. There we go. And we were starting to get a little bit of a bounce off that level, right? And then we wound up losing it, and we wound up getting accepted back into the range. So at that point, that's where you're expecting to come down to your POC and then even potentially your 786. And coming back to the 4-hour, money flow is back in the red. Very, very choppy action here, guys. Like this is garbage. This is absolute garbage. Up, down, green, red with the money flow. Like this is very unpredictable. So just be very careful out there, right? So that's when when you get those mixed signals on the indicators, what I like to do is just look at the key levels and the price action, and then take the indicators as maybe a confirmation, but not really basing everything off of the indicators just because of all this choppy action. They, very likely that any indicator that you're looking at is going to wind up giving you false signals based off these market conditions, right? So again, key levels remain the same. I was hoping we'd get more volatility from yesterday. I mean, literally, like, this is all we got from yesterday's stream. The content is very difficult in these sideways ranges, guys. So just still waiting to come down to that golden pocket. So there you go. But again, I think that 4-hour green dot, if we are going to get a move off this golden pocket, I think that green dot is likely going to be the thing that gives it to you. It might print a nice little trigger wave here, nice and tight to that 0 line as well. So just something to keep an eye on. But other than that, guys, key levels remain exactly the same, and that's about it. I mean, nothing has really happened. I mean, I wouldn't even say we're necessarily decisively accepted into this range yet. So with that being said, guys, I am going to go ahead and move on to the higher time frames and talk a little bit more about the macro and where we can expect price to go more in the long term, right? Because I will recommend, if you are new to trading, very, very dicey trading to be had on those lower time frames in this kind of sideways chop. But when you zoom out, you start to get a little bit more clarity. And we were looking at this on our live stream for a while now, right? As we were coming down, getting accepted back into our macro range, right? This is obviously a different range than we were just looking at. We were looking at this micro range out in back down in here, but if you come on and zoom out and pull your macro range, it gives us a little bit more of a clearer view of what is going on. And I'm going to zoom out even further to kind of show you guys why we are struggling so much at this area, guys. It really makes a lot of sense. It's not really that shocking that we're getting this crazy resistance. We are up against absolutely monumental resistance. That's kind of what I've been calling it. But we were looking at this key level of resistance, guys. And shout out to anybody who watches this show every day. As we were coming down here, guys, looking at the possibility of coming down and tapping our golden pocket POC confluence of the bigger range, we were expecting a potential bounce to come in. Right now, obviously, we did get the bounce off of the actual level we were looking at the time, which was this blue box right here, bouncing off the value area low at about 28,650. But you want to realize, right, like, we're looking at multiple ranges here, right? You have your your macro value area. This is a smaller range than what we were just looking at on the other chart. But this is one of the main ranges we're looking at, and that's why we were looking for longs down here at 28,650, because it was the value area low of our range. And for anybody who's new here, we did get a very, very simple and easy to identify, I'm going to get rid of these levels, a very simple and easy to identify signal that was letting us know that we were likely to get a move up into our POC, and that was a bullish divergence on the daily time frame into our key level of support before getting that move up to our target, which was the POC, which we hit with that wick almost perfectly, and now we are getting a cool off. And again, like, key levels remain the same on the lower time frames, but now we are zooming out and looking at all of this price action as a macro range, right? That's what's on this chart. So one of the resistance levels we were looking at, guys, on top of the local resistance of the POC, was this macro value area high. And if I pull this range, right, the local range we were just looking at, which was right here, you could see the value area low of that range and the POC of this upper range was right in that area. Look at this POC. We wicked right up to that POC, but we were also not only looking at that POC, but also looking at the macro value area high, saying, hey, what happens if we get a bounce here, guys? This is, not only do you have that POC up here, but you also have this value area high. And if you cannot get back above this value area high, we may actually be getting accepted into a much bigger range here that could also call for way more downside for Bitcoin, right? Like this local range that we were looking at, let me come down to a lower time frame. This local range that we're looking at right here, that we're getting accepted into, same principle, right? We got below the value area high. If you can't get back above, you're expecting to come to the POC and the value area low, but the value area low is at 29K. This is a local range. Same principle, but just less severe. But when you zoom out to the higher time frames and you're looking at a macro value area high like this one right here at 29,867, if we get accepted into this range, guys, the downside could potentially be if we wind up getting a move all the way down to this value area low, coming in close to $26,300. Much more severe than $29,000 even, right? So we break the market down into multiple ranges, right? We're not just looking at one range. So as we got this bounce, we had to keep our eye on this value area high because, again, once you break below the value area high, again, same exact principle, just a different range. Once you break below that value area high and you cannot get back above it, that increases the odds that you get accepted back into this area of balance, and it increases the odds that you will come down and revisit the point of control and potentially even the value area low. And again, that is coming in at about $26,300. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about on the higher time frames, right? We have our money flow coming back up on the weekly, which would be bullish in the long term, but you start to take a look at the 2-day now, starting to roll over. You're looking at the daily now, looking for a red dot. And if you're looking at the laws of the volume profile, where if you can't get back above the value area high, you could get stuck in the range and come down to the POC and value area low, that would call for a significant amount of more downside, right? Like if we came all the way to this value area low at about 26,300, that's a 10% dump, right? And if we wound up getting that, guys, I would still remain bullish, right? In the long term, right? Like this is the hardest thing about my job is explaining to people how you can be bullish and bearish at the same time. It's very, very hard to explain, right? Like we're bullish on the long term on the weekly, but then when we're looking at this range and the daily could be a little bit more bearish, right? So if we do get that move down and we come all the way down to this value area low, I would still remain somewhat bullish here, guys. I do think that we may be able to continue that trend to the upside until we wind up breaking this value area low decisively, and more specifically, breaking these lows down here at about $24,754. Once we lose these lows and we can't get back up, if we don't get a quick bounce off of those levels, I would expect more downside for Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about kind of that would really push me to become much, much more bearish than I am, right? But if we come down simply to the value area low with a short-term deviation below the range, we could potentially get a big bounce from that area. So this is going to be a big area where I am looking for longs. But with that being said, if we wind up coming down here, get rid of this magnet tool. If we wind up coming down here and losing these lows and we cannot get back above, that's where I'm looking to get a bigger move down. And that's where I flip bearish and assume that this uptrend will no longer continue. Now, you have to understand there's probably a lot of people looking at this trend line, guys. I see a lot of people talking about this trend line. And it's not that this trend line is not valid, but a lot of people are going to flip mega bearish if we break this trend line. And if we break this trend line, obviously it increases the chances of coming to the value area low, because simply, if you break this trend line, we are also breaking the POC, right? So I'm not even really paying attention to the trend line, but it does have confluence, right? So if we lose this trend line / POC, I would expect to move down to your value area low. But again, I'm still looking for longs down here because we could still technically put in a higher low and continue this uptrend. So with that being said, kind of the levels I would look at here if we go ahead and pull this range right here. Again, like this is what I would be looking at. And this just shout out to the volume profiles, guys. Here we go. Here's your next value area I would be watching if we wind up getting a move below those lows where I am flipping more bearish. If we come down, cannot get back above, and again, really not getting bearish until, number one, we lose these lows. Why? Because, well, we could be still putting in a higher low up here. That's one reason. But if you start losing these lows, we are at risk of breaking back below this value area high, which could accept us back into this lower range. And just like if we can't get above this value area high and move up, we are likely to come to this value area low. The same theory applies. Once you lose these lows, you're at danger of losing this value area high. If you cannot get back above it, you are looking for a move down to your POC and potentially even your value area low. And now you're getting closer to the $22,000 range, which we are very far away from at this point. So I'm not calling for this to happen, but you have to see this stuff and have it marked out on the charts so you're prepared if it does wind up coming down there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here in the long term for Bitcoin. Now, here's another thing, guys. if you draw just, I mean, if you just take this line, right? One of the things that was making me, one of the things that was making us more bullish on Bitcoin was, number one, getting above these highs at about 21.5. But also, you can see we got massive resistance at these highs as well, right? And then some people were seeing this as a massive head and shoulders. But you can see, we got a perfect bounce off that level of support. Let me get rid of some of these levels. I'll redraw them in a second. But you can see, I'll get rid of this line too, right? Big rejection. Then we finally broke it up. This was a very important support resistance flip. So again, that does also add to the importance of this level of support, right? Because harsh rejection, massive lows, harsh rejection, and then we finally broke it, flipped it to support, and continued higher. However, what did we do here, guys? What did we do? Basically, the reason, let me just make sure this isn't the bat phone ringing. It is not. What's going on here, guys? Let's just go ahead and clear all these levels. Just look at the simple chart. Look at the weekly time frame. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, guys. Look at the level of resistance that we are hitting our heads on, guys. This is massive resistance. And again, this is losing this low right here would be more bearish, and that opens up the door to bring us down to that 25K level, right? But not only is this a value area, right? We know that's a value area pulled from this range right here. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's not necessarily that important at this moment. But, we're just hitting resistance, guys. This was monumental support, right? This was huge support in the bull market. Boom, 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 right? And then we finally lost it and came into the bear market. And now we are finally coming up and testing that super, super important level of resistance. And that is why we're having so much trouble up here, guys. This is serious, serious resistance. So that's kind of what we're looking at, right? And if I could separate this into value areas, just because I know where these value areas are, let me go ahead and bring this in a bit. Just because I know where these value areas are, this is essentially a value area, right? We have our high up here, our POC is somewhere in the middle, and our value area low is right here at the bottom of the white box. This is why we were looking for a long down here, is because if you zoom into the lower time frames or just look at the Bitstamp chart, this is the range. Let me zoom this in. And let me clean this up really quickly, guys. Bear with me. Let me hide this. Let's hide that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the POC. I mean, the golden pocket. And this is the range I'm looking at, right? We're just zoomed in here. We're just zoomed in. Think of this as a higher resolution view of the range that we were looking at just before, right? So zoomed out here on the weekly, or let's zoom out on the weekly or the 6 day, right? Price bing-bonging around in this little range, right? And then we zoom in, come back to a lower time frame. This is that range, right? Same thing. But that's why we were looking for longs down here, because we knew that we were coming up to, and it's almost perfectly drawn here. That's why we were looking for longs here, because we know this is a value area. If we lose these lows, right, I would be careful of some potential, SFPs, right, swing failure patterns of these lows down here. We might come down, grab some liquidity, and then just rip back up to the high of the range. But other than that, if we lose this level decisively with higher time frame confirmed candles below the level, that will open up the door to potentially get accepted back into this, or I'm sorry, not back into, well, if we pull the local, let me do this. If we pull this range back here, you can see the value area high of that previous range is right at the low of our current range. So if we break below these levels, we could get accepted back into this lower range, right? That's why this level is so important. Now, if I pull it back to the macro, again, just looking at these volume levels, if we can't get back above this, obviously we're going to come back down to here. And if we start losing there, where's the next likely place for price to go? Creighton C. Exactly, the POC, right? So that's why we're looking down to these levels. There's many different ways to see it. If it confuses you to look at multiple, I like to look at multiple ranges, right? I've been looking at the chart for many years, right? So it doesn't confuse me to look at, when my chart is messy, I can make sense of it because, number one, I've been doing it for a long time. Number two, it's my chart, right? So I know what it's kind of like, your mom tells you to clean your room when you were a kid, and it's where all that stuff is. I know my Game Boy is right underneath the corner of that blanket because it's my mess, right? But the way I look at the charts personally is kind of with, looking at the multiple ranges, right? So I would pull that range. I would pull this range. I would also pull this range. Right, so I look at multiple different ranges. You can even look at a range down here, right? And they're all relevant. All these levels are going to be relevant, right? And we're pulling this range, right? This white box, this is another range. We're pulling that from back here. The levels aren't going to match up exactly, but we're pulling that from this range back here. I just don't know exactly what candles we pulled it from. But same thing. I look at multiple ranges. But if that confuses you, right, and you're not looking to scalp this range and then day trade over here, and then what you could do is you could just simplify it and just look at the macro range. And you're going to get the same you're not going to get the same levels, but you're going to get the same information just displayed in a slightly different way. Because again, like if you lose these lows, you're likely to come to your POC. Now, if you're looking at the macro range, the reason you'd expect that is because you can't get back above your value area high. So you're expecting to come down to your POC. But if you're looking at it if you're looking at it in terms of multiple ranges, right? So like I just did, like pull a range from here, and then you pull your range, like maybe you want to look at this as a whole range, right? So if you look at it this way, you know that you have a value area right here represented by this white box, and you know you have another value area down here represented by the purple box. So what happens when you lose a value area? You had balance up here, you then lost the range, you cannot get back up into that range. So you may what happens when price leaves an area of balance and you cannot get accepted back into it? Well, price is naturally going to go seek new balance, shout out to the sneakers, or it will go back to an old area of balance, which is right here represented in purple. It is simply a previous range. So if you can't get back into this range, you're likely to reject and go find an old range. And if you break below this value area high, aka the low of this macro range, you're expecting to get stuck in here and come to the POC, right? Which is, again, at almost the exact same level as if you were looking at this as one giant macro range. So I know this is probably super confusing, right? Where's that POC? Right here. Same exact area, $28,050. So I think it might get a little confusing for people when they're looking at multiple ranges and they're like, well, it's a value area low, value area high. And then you see someone looking at just one macro range and you're like, you're getting the same information, right? But it's just displayed in different ways, if that makes sense. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys more by showing that. I hope I was able to kind of give you insight into how this stuff works. So, if you're looking at 3 different ranges and then someone else is looking at one macro range, it doesn't necessarily mean the small ranges you're looking at are wrong. It just means you're looking at the charts in different ways. You're interpreting the price action in different ways. And when you're all using the same tools and you're all looking at the same price action, again, like same thing with indicators for the most part, guys, is like all of this stuff is based off the same information. It's just based off of the information given on the charts, displayed in different ways. So with that being said, that's how I'm looking at the macro, right? Like I generally look at it in multiple value areas, but if you wanted to simplify it, you can simply get rid of all your TA and you could just pull your macro range right here. If you're more of a position trader or you're more of a swing trader, you don't really care about the local levels, right? You're just more interested in like, hey, are we getting stuck in this range? Because if we are, I'm expecting to come down here and then potentially down here. So worst case scenario, guys, if we can't get back above this value area high, I will be looking for a move down to the POC. $28,050 about. And then if you lose that level, looking to come down here to about 26.3. If you start decisively losing these lows, that's where I expect to get a bigger move down to for Bitcoin. And if you're asking me the prices, simply look left, find another area of balance or another range, and pull your volume. Those levels are likely to get respected. And it just so happens that your value area high of this old range would be acceptance into the lower range to bring you down to lower prices, again, getting closer to about 22K. But we're pretty far away from that. So locally, not locally, but for the most part, over the next week or so, we got to get above this level. We can't get above $29,792. There is not going to be much upside to be had for Bitcoin. And then when you zoom out even more and you look at the monumental resistance we're up against, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to get rejections here. And this is why we looked for shorts up here at 30,100, also up here at about 32,000. It's because we were coming up against this major level of resistance. So there you go, guys. Hopefully I gave you some insight into how I break down the charts personally and how I find these lower targets. And again, like until we close bigger high time frame candles below this $25,000 level, I will be looking for longs because again, we have now flipped these key levels of resistance into support. So everyone's going to be panicking, guys. Like, even if we dump down to 28K, people are going to be panicking. And especially if we come down to this value area low at 26.3, people are going to be like, even like the bears are going to be like, guys, it's at 26. Give up. It's going to 10K. And you're not going to think like that because you know that you could just be revisiting the value area low of your range. And you know the real level to watch for more massive downside for Bitcoin is really these lows. So there you go. That's what I'm looking for, guys. And again, you know, with these 5-day green dot now printing, right? 4-day green dot now printing. I don't know why these are. Maybe it's the Bitstamp chart that's not printing them. That's why. It's just different because it's a different exchange. But these high time frame daily dots, right? These green dots on the 4-day, 3-day, 5-day. If these, if these wind up not giving you a big move up, I would be looking for a little bit more downside. But I just, with this chop, guys, like I just wanted to break down those higher time frames because it's more simple, right? It's just more simple. Like, where are we? Like, everyone is like, oh my God, we're pumping, we're dumping. Like, understand that when you zoom out, like, there's really nothing going on. Like, this is the pumps and the dumps. Like, we're just going sideways for the most part, trending down slightly locally here. But there you go, guys. Let's check on chat really, really quickly here. Bada boom, bada bing. Catch up on chat. Let's see. That 4-hour trigger looks pretty nice. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Yeah, this trigger wave, and I mean, on top of that 4-hour trigger wave, that 3-day trigger wave is quite nice, as the proper people would say, quite nice. But yeah, this 3-day trigger wave is pretty savage as well. So just keep that in mind. But again, like, we would really need to see this money flow crossing over into the green on the 3-day. And more importantly, guys, this 2-day money flow needs to curve up. Let's see. Show ETH. Sir Quest says show ETH. Shout out to Sir Quest. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. G Money says, yeah, man, thanks for the breakdown. And the alpha on Bitcoin. Shout out to G Money. No problemo. Shout out to Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative in the house. What is going on, Jessica? I hope you're doing well. I don't know what's going on with this ban thing. I can't tell if it's like a joke or not. But yeah, you said you used the M word, but I didn't really read the whole thing. So I don't know what the M word is. M as in monkey, or M as in money, I should say. I don't know what the M word is. But shout out to Jessica. I'm glad you're back if you actually did get banned from something. All right, let's see. Let's see. I have the Aviator. Shout out to Jessica. But yeah, guys, that's kind of... Oh, gotcha. Zeus Cash. Okay, gotcha. I do know what that word is. I do. Shout out to Vslim said, walked away for a sec. Everyone is pissed at Dave Digital again. What did he do? Dave, what did you do? Dave, you're always causing trouble, Dave. But that's why you're one of my favorite Mafia members. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Toe TV says monkeys. Whatever happened to monkeys? Did monkeys ever rip? Can we look at that? Do you guys remember when we were looking at that meme coin, monkeys token? Did that ever go nuts? They said it was going to be the next Sheeb. They were pretty adamant on it. God, I hate looking at these coins. I don't know. Let's see. Is this the coin? Okay, I guess it went to the moon. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't know. I don't think this is definitely not it. Let's see. I would really want to find this. Like, do you guys remember? Everyone was going nuts over this coin. Let's see. This maybe looks a little... is this it? Is this it? I don't know. Kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I don't know. Does anybody know what happened to that coin? Did it ever go to... was it ever the new Sheeb? Let's see. Doge looking very good. Okay. I'm monkeys to the moon. Monkeys token. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which one. Oh, I guess it's probably this one, right? Mexi. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking at the right chart. I assume this is probably it. Let's see. Shout out to Zemixel. He says, yeah, it went bananas. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Is this we can time you out if you'd like. Shout out to Dave Digital. No, don't call the cops on Dave, guys. Don't call the cops on Dave. No, yeah, shout out to Chemistry, bro. He's like every meme community, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is it. This has got to be it, right? Like, it only goes down. That's the wrong moon. I love bananas. 1K likes, baby. Let's go. Shout out to D Bet Long Crypto. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jessica's out of YouTube jail. I guess you were really in YouTube jail. But yeah, I don't know if this is really the thing. I assume it probably is. It probably just bled out like every other meme coin. Guys, you can get rich with meme coins. Don't get me wrong. But typically it is a short-lived opportunity. And when people are saying, when you got everybody calling for their coin being the next, I actually looked into this a little bit. It was actually pretty interesting. Elon Musk. I am not supporting this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just giving you information. Elon Musk actually does have a list on his Twitter called Monkeys. And I think that's what they base it on. They think that Elon Musk is going to no one, only 1,200 people know about this. And then he's going to tweet about it and it's going to go bananas, which is definitely possible. I mean, if Elon Musk tweets, I love garbage men, garbage coin is going to 100x or 50x, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it, but I assume it probably didn't become the next sheep. I don't know why people thought that meme coins were going to just rip forever in the middle of a bear market. I don't know. The real meme season is, for me, usually happens in the bull market, or at least altcoin season. All right, let's see. Let's continue on here, guys. If you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and spam them in the chat right now. And by spam them, I mean maybe send it once or twice. Don't spam it for the mods. They got to be able to read the chat. But yeah, go ahead and throw your altcoins in the chat, guys. And Rob the Crypto Snob will go ahead and count up the votes and let us know which ones we're looking at. D Petty Crypto said, Frankie Candles, can I get a steak sauce shout out for an anonymous fan? Absolutely. Wait, am I shouting out whoa, there. Oh god. Hang on. D Petty, your chat left. Everybody's spamming the alts now. Can I get a steak sauce shout out for an anonymous fan? D Petty Crypto, you are a made man, so you can have whatever you want, my friend. So yeah, here's an anonymous steak sauce shout out for an anonymous fan. Shout out to D Petty Crypto. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and start off with Ethereum, guys. And Rob, let's go ahead and take a look at maybe 3-ish altcoins. Oh wait, hang on. Is Rob here today? Let's see. Maybe he's working. Maybe he's working overtime. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't see Rob at the moment. I assume he's here somewhere. I bet you he's lurking. Oh, no, he's not here, guys. Rob the Crypto Snob's not here. I'm just kidding, guys. He's probably busy. But yeah, maybe shout out steak sauce. Let's go. Bing bong. Shout out steak sauce. Let's go. This is for you. 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 500 or 600. Let's get it, baby. Bing bong. I almost threw Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles is just chilling on the floor here. Should we throw Mrs. Candles for the steak sauce? Let's go. Shout out to the steak sauce. Bing bong. Guys, when the price action is sideways, sometimes you got to throw Mrs. Candles around. Let's continue on here. Everybody Smile said, you heard it, 30-ish altcoins. Let's go. He's out monkeying. Hey, Michael Snellen in the chat. What is going on, bro? Dave banned Rob. Dave, you have the wrench. We told you to use it for good, not evil, bro. Out here banning Rob. Unbelievable. Shout out to Dave Digital. We love you, bro. Okay, there we go. Shout out to Tyler Jordan. Thank you so much for putting those altcoins in the chat, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Throw steak sauce on Mrs. Candles. I'll have to bring steak sauce tomorrow. Shout out to Kembro. But guys, let's take a look at Ethereum as, again, nothing has really happened here since yesterday. Pretty brutal price action. Very rarely is it this boring, guys. But I will say this, guys. I will say this. Money flow starting to come back up here just a little bit. On the 4-hour, nothing really decisive just yet. We are printing a red dot. Or we have a confirmed red dot on the 4-hour. VWAP looking to roll back to the upside somewhat soon here. I'm going to keep it simple on Ethereum, guys. On the macro, your macro levels, very similar to Bitcoin. Looking for a potential move back down. Now, I would consider this kind of the POC / golden pocket retracement at 2850 for Bitcoin. But on Ethereum, it is a value area low. Golden pocket confluence, but very, very similar. I wonder if... yeah. So very similar level, not quite the same. But I would look for, if we cannot get back above this POC, guys, would look for a potential move back down to the value area low golden pocket here, potentially looking for the support to begin at the top of that golden pocket with the value area low coming down here at about 1745. Again, very, very good year to be alive. As you guys know, that was when I was born. The GOATs. Let's shout out to the GOATs. Shout out to Tony D. Guys, Tony D is always listening. And I don't even know if he's said anything in chat yet, but I know he's listening to me right now. And, Tony D is trash. Tony D's trash. He's not even in the stream right now. Shout out to the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. But let's continue on here. I'm waiting for Tony D to pop up in chat and talk trash. Put Dave back in timeout. Wait, what did Dave say? Okay, continuing on here. Maybe Tony D is actually not in here. Nah, he's in here. He's lurking. I know he is. Anyway, continuing on, guys. If we can't get your key level of resistance right now, guys, is going to be the POC of the range. And Tony, I'm just joking. Guys, when Tony D is not in chat, it's because he's doing other important stuff for the channel. Let's see. Let me go ahead and change this to a regular line. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Teresa. Said Frankie called this range at the start of the week. Yeah, shout out to Teresa. I'm happy you were here to see that. Please check inhaler, new coin. Shout out to Captain Kirk. I really started something with this inhaler thing, guys. I hit an inhaler one time, and I just like it's like my new personality. It's pretty funny. But anyway, guys, let's see. Maybe he's having a Kit Kat. Shout out to Junior I am. Shout out to you, bro. Not impossible. Not impossible. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm surprised he hasn't popped in here. He's gonna watch this back and be like, oh my God, I missed all this. Hey, shout out to Teresa. Said spot on, kept me calm during the trade. Shout out to Teresa. Let's go. Shout out to Teresa. I'm super happy. Dave Digital said one time. Liar. Dave, you're maybe wrong, but probably not. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Teresa. It's thank you for saying that, because I'm glad that it was able to keep you calm during in your trades, because that's the power of the volume profile, right? So let's go ahead and break this down, right? Key level of resistance is going to be 1870 or 1869, right? If you can't get above this level, you are going to look for a potential. Sorry, if you can't get above the level, you're going to look for a potential journey down to your golden pocket or your value area low. But do you have levels of support in between that? Well, probably, right? So what we're going to do is pull another range. That's where we get this local range for Ethereum, right? And your value area low is, we're pretty close to it, right? So I wouldn't even look at this range. I would just kind of zoom out. And, I mean, definitely going to be somewhat of a support level here at about 1837. So I will go ahead and take that level. But it's all local, right? It's going to be choppy. Like, this is the ugliest price action ever. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that range if it will let me. There we go. So I will take that into consideration. I'll go ahead and label this local value area low. Because it is going to be a level of support that you want to watch, not VASL. It's just VAL, guys, if you're wondering. It's a local value area low, not the, like, I don't know. Kind of hard to say. But let's go ahead and let me see. Let me pull a couple other ranges here real quick. Yeah, same value area low. Yeah, I mean, these are the levels I would look for. If you can't get above this POC, which is obviously, we'll make this a range. Key resistance, guys, going to be this purple box. If you can't get above this purple box, I would not be looking for upside on Ethereum, but how I would actually be looking for more downside, right? So until we break that purple box, I would be expecting a potential, move down to that golden pocket value area low. Again, that range is coming in between top of the golden pocket at about 1777, and then your value area low coming in at about 1744. Pretty simple. But money flow is coming up. Where's our local golden pocket here on the 4-hour? I mean, this is just hideous price action, guys. Like, this is brutal. Yeah, I mean, like, this is kind of your hyper local range, right? Like you're just looking for kind of support at this blue box, right? Support at the blue box, resistance at the purple box. So I'm not expecting anything crazy out of Ethereum to the downside or the upside until you could break out of this local range, right? So until you break below this blue box, that's where I would really expect to have this bigger blue box come into play. And then if you break above the purple box, that's where I'm looking up to the macro value area high. So there you go. You're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place here until you break out of this zone. And then if you do break out of the purple box, 1924 is going to be likely. If you break out of the blue box, 1777 all the way down to 1745 is going to be likely. Now, if I had to make a guess here, based off the 4-hour money flow coming up, I would potentially argue that, once we get that money flow crossover into the green, it would be more likely to maybe come down here and test some of these prices as money flow continues to move to the upside. And then by the time you get down here, you might be able to find a local long position to blast out above this purple box. So if I had to guess, and again, very speculative, not financial advice, but if you come down to this local golden pocket 786 retracement, that's where you're looking for longs, because money flow in the short term on the 4-hour would indicate that you are able to continue this trend to the upside, meaning low, high, higher low, either coming in at the, let me get rid of these lines, right? I want to break this down so you guys understand. 4-hour money flow working its way to the upside. Because of that, I am going to be looking for a long down here, either at the value area low, between the value area low, the 786 and the golden pocket, this whole blue box. So you have your low, your high, your potential higher low coming in. There's no way to tell if it's going to come in at the value area low, the golden pocket, or the 786, but you're looking for a low, high, either a higher low here, a higher low here, or a higher low here. These are the 3 key levels within this blue box. So even if you come down to the 786, you could potentially put in a higher low and then go attack the value area high. If you could flip that to support, I would look at the macro resistance level at 1924. I think that is probably the more likely situation. But all in all, when you zoom out, guys, it's just more sideways price action, right? And when you're zoomed in here, it's like, oh my God, he's super bullish. He thinks it's going to get a move up. Like, just zoom out. Like, it's really just expecting more sideways action. But there you go. Not really expecting anything too crazy until we break out of this zone, either to the upside or the downside. And now you have the key levels, not only to the downside, but also the upside. Well. Look who it is. Tony D. It was your ear. Were your ears ringing, Tony D? Were your ears ringing? We were just talking so much trash about you, bro. I'm just kidding. We were just saying, hey, is Tony D here? And I said, yeah, most definitely he's here. And then you didn't answer while we were talking about you, and I said, maybe he's not there. But then I looked for you in the chat, and you were there. And, yeah, anyway, shout out to Tony D. Let's see. Darren Does Things. What is going on, bro? Saying hey to Crespo Crypto. Shout out to Crespo Crypto as well. Let's see. I was reported for using the M word instead of little people. Wait, Jessica, like, not by our mods, right? Like, you were definitely, was it YouTube that banned you? Shout out to Tony D, said I was gone for 15 minutes. Good to know the channel almost entirely fell apart. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, we were talking trash, but then I took it all back, and I was like, I'm kidding, guys. He's probably doing something important. Also, Tony D works so hard. It's like he's literally here every second. So it's like, but anyway, continuing on. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yes, YouTube banned you. Dang, Jessica, you pissed off the YouTube gods? Dang, not even the candle gods, but the YouTube gods. Dang, you really ruffling some feathers out there. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I would look for. On Ethereum, actually, yeah, kind of hard to call, guys. The whole market's just a mess right now. But there you go. That's really what I would look for. No upside, really, until we break that purple box. We'll wait for that 4-hour green. That next 4-hour green dot may be the thing that breaks us above there. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. I'm just learning Tony was gone. New and growing attachment issues now. Shout out to Crypto Totoro. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. Did Tony D just come in and add random alts? Sheepcat XRP. Oh, I guess he added XRP maybe. So let's go ahead and jump on down to XRP, guys. And here we go, right? XRP obviously getting some bearish news coming out about the SEC appealing the case. But we're looking at the charts, guys. We don't really pay attention to the FUD, right? Like, we know when the FUD's coming because typically the charts tell you before it actually happens, which is the most interesting thing in the world. I was actually talking to Tony D in the office about this earlier. It's pretty crazy, right? Like, before we jump into XRP, let me just point this out, guys. Like, when you're looking at the chart here, in the bull run, right? Like, we had a massive weekly bearish divergence, which very, very rarely happens. You have your higher high on price, your lower high in your momentum waves, and then a massive collapse of price. Now, this is like a typical show me the charts, I'll tell you the news type thing, right? Like you get the bearish divergence on the weekly. Very rare signal. Typically very powerful, right? As you could see. But like, it's like it's programmed in, right? Because like, after we got a big collapse, like you get all the FUD starting to come out, and then boom, Celsius, and then boom, FTX. All this stuff just starts to happen. Like, that's a perfect example of show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. People will be like, oh my God, Bitcoin and crypto just collapsed because Celsius and Luna and FTX and all this bearish stuff, the SEC and like all this stuff, right? But really, like, you could have seen the collapse coming all the way back here with a weekly bearish divergence. Was the chart gonna know? Like, it's show me the charts. Like, it's already baked in my opinion, guys. Like, it's already baked in. It's just like, make up what the bearish news or the FUD is gonna be in the next bear market. Like, same thing. Like, yeah, it's wild, right? Like, the signal was here. Massive collapse incoming. Money flow on the weekly bearish divergence. Super, super bearish. And then, like, just fill in whatever the bearish stories are going to happen throughout that entire bear market, right? Like it's just insert. Usually it's China FUD. This time it was the SEC collapse. SEC collapse. This time it was, like, the exchanges collapsing or going insolvent. And it was all signaled here by a weekly bearish divergence. Like, you just had to fill in the blanks here. Like, if you go back in time, right, let's go into par replay mode. Like, you're looking here and you're like, dang, this is not looking good. Super bearish. Money flow, momentum coming out, money flow coming out, higher highs on your price, bearish divergence on the weekly, and like, this is where you're thinking probably the bear market is incoming, right? And you're expecting a big collapse. So what would you expect here? Well, hey, maybe you're expecting a big collapse down, right? Maybe you're expecting to come down and tap, previous all-time highs at, well, which was 20K. So maybe like down there. That's kind of what we were looking at. And then it's just like fill in the blank, right? Like, this is going to happen. Like, who cares what the story that makes this dump happen is? Who cares what this dump is based off of or this dump is based off of? Based off the technical signal, that this is likely incoming. Who cares what the stories are? Like, it literally doesn't matter. I mean, I guess it does matter. But, like, I'm kind of being, not sarcastic, but, like, I'm being half serious. But it's true. It's true. Like, we knew this collapse was going to happen. We don't care what the story's bringing the price down. We just, like, fill in the blank there, right? So there you go. Show me the charts. I'll tell you the news. Except I won't tell you the news because I don't know what it will be. But I know it'll be there, right? And then it's, like, all tied to the 4-year cycle, which is weird, too. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. Speaking of bearish news, let's go ahead and jump right into XRP. And again, here we are, guys. Like, we got the bearish news, but, like, show me the charts, and I'll let you know, right? Like, even here, like, there were things on the chart. There were things on the chart saying that we could break out here. We were looking at these targets that we hit way before we broke out. We didn't know when it was going to break out, right? Or the signals could have pointed to when we were going to break out, but, like, it was based off news, right? That big breakout was based off of news, but, like, the charts were looking bullish for a long time. So it's like, I know it's probably going to break out. Like, we just got to wait for that story to happen. Whatever it's going to be. Is it going to be XRP becomes the new monetary, the takes over everything? Or is it going to be they win the case? Is it going to be whatever? If the charts were looking super bearish on XRP, we could have expected that they were going to lose the lawsuit, right? Now, obviously, Black Swan news can, totally step on TA. TA is not right 100% of the time, right? Like, if you get a Black Swan, something like March of 2020 happens, the charts can look as bullish as you want. And, something like that comes out, like, price is going to dump, right? And at that point, the TA gets completely stepped on. But it's just time and time again, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But anyway, doesn't mean that if you trade based off news, you're wrong. Doesn't mean this is what makes more sense to me. But anyway, here we go. We got the bearish news. We got the move up that we were looking for based off our 4-hour bullish divergence. We got that move up, and then obviously we got tanked on that news. But now we are holding, technically right now, we are holding that value area low as support. Now, what are we looking at here? Very simple. Same exact thing that we were looking at yesterday. If we lose this value area low decisively, we could potentially get a move, pulling up the VPVR. We could potentially get a move through this low volume gap and retest this 786, right? Which already makes sense. You pull your fib, you're looking for a retracement to come in. Here, we're at the golden pocket retracement, but we could still break down from here, get a move through this low volume gap very quickly to come tap that 786 retracement level. And that is where you could wind up potentially putting in your higher low and continuing your trend to the upside. Now, obviously, if you get more bearish news, it can get stepped on, right? And you could dump more. But again, like, I'm not really freaking out off this stuff, right? Like, if they got that bearish news, like, well, hey, we have we have an expected potential 12% dump. Like, so, like, sure, people are like, oh my God, XRP dumped 12%, but like, you're waiting for that retracement to come in anyway. So you already are a step ahead of the news, right? So if we lose this value area low decisively, I will be looking for a move down and probably a quick move down, right? And that's like another funny thing. Like, if we get more bearish news based off of the for XRP, it could be a very scary, big, fast dump. I would already be expecting a fast dump here, even if it wasn't based off of news, because we have a giant volume gap, right? We got a big move up, quick move up. We were expecting that quick move up for XRP. And it ripped based off of the news, but we were already expecting it to be a rip and a fast move because of the volume gap. So if we do wind up decisively losing this level, I would expect a quick move down. And what makes quick moves down when you're not looking at the charts? Scary FUD. So, like, I don't know. This is why I like TA. It's just so interesting. But this is where we're looking down to our second box. If we do wind up losing these levels, I would expect some kind of a bounce here based off of our value area high, which is the area where we originally broke out from. And your 786 retracement is right there as well, which would make a lot of sense to go ahead and get a bounce from, right? Doesn't mean that we're going to launch up to new all-time highs, but this would definitely be an area I would be looking for support on. And yeah, same thing we've been looking at. Money flow starting to come a little bit more out here on the 4-hour. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily VWAP skirting back towards that zero line. Really nothing that shocking. 2-day looking to print a green dot. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really be getting crazy bearish unless we get some kind of crazy news. I would just be looking at this key level at about 62 cents, almost 63 cents. And if we decisively lose it, you guys know what prices we're looking down to. But again, money flow coming back out on the 4-hour just a little bit. So, yeah, again, with the indicators right now, I would be a little bit careful. I would kind of just look at the value area levels as kind of your signal. So that's what we're looking at on XRP. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Corn Pop Coin. Shout out to Wheels. Let's see. Yeah, High Def said we had SEC appeal FUD. Didn't drop much. That is somewhat of a good sign, I would say. Let's see. Bada boom, bada boo. Let's see. Just beware. Corn dogs in South Korea are amazing, but don't ever eat Chinese corn dogs like ever. They take it too literally. Okay. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's see. Quicker in the chat. What is going on? Quicker said liking the stream and voting in the poll. Can't hang out long tonight though. Have a great night, everyone. Shout out to Quicker. Thank you for stopping in, my dude. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Sheeb. That's the market cap. That's not what we want. Don't know what any of this is. Let's zoom out and see what these lines look like. I have no idea. Okay. Well, guys, I am going to look at this, right? Because usually I delete these lines, but I can tell you exactly what we were looking for, and it played out. I don't remember the last time we looked at this chart, but I can tell you right now, based off of the value area low, POC, value area high. I'm almost positive, or I could be almost sure, that we were looking, these lines, like these are just, if you watch this show, you know what this line is, right? It is, hey, guys, if we get above the value area low and we flip it to support, where is the next likely place for price to go? Well, it is the POC. Thank you, Creighton. It is the POC, but obviously we did give a little rejection here, and that was definitely based off this very high volume area, and we had a level of resistance there, right? And like perfectly respected. Why? Because it was drawn based off of the volume. So I will say, Sheeb playing out exactly, again, I don't remember exactly. I mean, we probably drew it back here in June, potentially. I don't really remember. But I will say this, levels still being respected. I'm going to continue to look at these levels, right? So very strong level of resistance here. Look at this. Look at this giant high volume node, guys. This is going, and this shelf. We're getting a resistance right on the shelf of volume. So I would look for resistance here for sure. Daily. Wow, daily printed a green dot. Maybe you push up. Money flow coming up. Doesn't look bad. Sheep does not look too bad. 2-day, money flow cruising to the upside. 3-day, money flow starting to work its way back up. 4-hour green money flow crossover, not looking too bad. 5-day also has your money flow coming up. I will say this, your higher time frames, like your higher dailies, do have your VWAP cooling off. So wouldn't be impossible to get some kind of a correction here, but money flow would indicate that the longer-term trend would continue to the upside, which could potentially get us above this level of resistance, which could open up the door to get to your POC. And just based off the volume profile, you are looking to begin your journey. As soon as we flipped this level to support, you're expecting to begin your journey up to the POC. But we call it a journey for a very specific reason, and that is because price action's messy. So we got the move up to our first level, we hit it perfectly, and now we are rejecting. So if that daily green dot does not push you over this level, I would actually, I would expect a rejection or some kind of a cool off here before potentially coming up higher. And again, the reason I'm not looking for a massive dump is because of the money flow. So I would expect some kind of a cool off here. If this daily green dot does give you a bigger move up, and I mean, look at the respect on that level, guys. Absolutely beautiful. But if that daily green dot does wind up giving you a little bit more of a move up, let's take a look here. Yeah, I would look at this high volume node here. I'm not going to read the price, but I'll put a line there. Yeah, I would watch these two high volume nodes. That daily may give you a little squeeze up to this level before cooling off. But pull your, fib. Yeah, value area low. I'll just draw these as new levels. You could even cool off a decent bit here, come down, test these levels before continuing up as well. Let me come up to the 4-day. Okay, let's pull it to this. Let's pull this. I would take this level as well. I'd take this golden pocket. So there you go. Those are kind of the levels I would expect to get a bounce off of. I would also watch. Let me pull it. Let me pull this. Yeah, I would also watch this high volume node. So these are kind of the levels I would expect to cool off on, and I know they look really close, but once you pull up the lower time frames, it's a little more manageable. But there you go. Yeah, I mean, pretty much playing out exactly as you would expect based off the volume profile. Holding the value area low, could be on your way to the POC, but locally, I would look for a potential rejection here. If not, maybe a last push up to your high volume node right up here. I'm not going to read the level because I don't want to botch the amount of zeros. Where's our macro? Where's our golden pocket retracement? Let's see. Yeah, and your POC's got that golden pot. Yeah, I would watch this. I would watch this. I wonder if we have a 786, if we're rejecting a golden pocket here, guys, this is going to be a big level to look at. Let me see here. Yeah. Let's make this a range. Turn it purple for resistance. Yeah. That's what I would look at, guys. If you push up again, I would look for a rejection here. If not, I would look for a pullback from where we're at right now. But again, looking for higher lows before continuing higher because of the way money flow looks on the higher time frames. Shout out to Creighton C said, okay, seriously, first you got fan issues, then your mouse, then no AC, now lag? Bro, get it together. Shout out to Creighton C. Wait, what the heck? Is the stream lagging? So I got excellent connection. Creighton, I got excellent connection right here. So I don't see any problems on my end. I got full internet. Connection is good. Frankie uses dial-up. No, we're supposed to have I have gigabit. So it should be good. It says I have excellent connection. And OBS saying I have excellent connection as well. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here. Taking a look at Caspa. Thank you for that super chat, Creighton. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, taking a look at Caspa. Finally, cooling off here. Let me see, make sure we're looking at the right chart here. Okay. Bada boom. So here we are. Man, I really wish I remembered what we were looking at here. But I can almost guarantee you here. Pull this range right here. This is definitely what we were looking. Stop extending to the right, man. Come on. There you go. Okay. So yeah, there you go, guys. There you go. Local range up here. This is probably the two areas that we were looking for resistance at as we broke down below this range, looking for a rejection there or rejection off the PLC value area high. Wound up rejecting the golden pocket and absolutely dumping from there. But that's in hindsight. Let's go ahead and see where we're going to be headed next. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I would continue to look at the levels that we have been looking at here. Start it fresh. Let's see. Yeah, you've been lagging today. Interesting. I'm good now. It was lagging. Really? That is very strange. Yeah, I don't know. It says I have excellent connection. I wonder if it's from the storm. We had a pretty bad storm. It always says that. Yo, dial-up is... Me remember dial-up? I remember dial-up. Let's see. Lag was crazy today. For real? Dang. That is interesting. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Well, it still says excellent connection. I did just get a spinning wheel, though. Yeah, BlackRock wants to throttle the sauce. Yeah, I shouldn't have said the show me your chart. Show me the chart. I'll tell you the news thing. I think I might have pissed him off. But let's go. Let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Take a look at the higher time frames. Take a look at the daily. Obviously, making new all-time highs here for Caspa as we are starting to get a little bit of support on our previous all-time high at about 0.043 cents. But where are we likely to stop next? I will go ahead and draw a level here on our... Actually, we'll do this. Let's get some daily levels here, and let's pull up the magnet tool. I'm going to go ahead and mark one out right there. This is going to be an interesting level to watch. And let me go ahead and pull a fib locally here from this. Whoops. I'll readjust that. There you go. Okay, so you do have a nice confluence with this daily level and your golden pocket. That is interesting. Go ahead and turn this blue for long, and then mark out the 786 as well. Go ahead and label that 786. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go. So, yeah, I would look for a potential move down to this golden pocket. This would be a decent place to get some kind of a bounce. And yeah, you do have a pretty good confluence here on that golden pocket. Shout out to Kareem Edwards, says APT and Soul, please. We will try to get to that today. Kareem, I appreciate the super chat. I will try to take a look at those. Yeah, Aptos and Solana. We got the storm in South Florida. Yeah, Jessica, it was pretty bad out here. It was pretty bad out here. I'm not going to lie. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, I would look for a bounce off this golden pocket 786. That would be the next levels of support I would be looking at if Caspa continues to cool off, and you do have the higher time frames rolling over here. Red dot on your 4-day, 3-day, and your 2-day is confirmed. Money flow coming out as well. I would expect some kind of a continued cool off, but I would be watching this zone for support between 0.04 or about 4 cents and about 0.03769 cents. So there you go. You could screenshot those levels if you're interested. And there you go. There will be other levels to watch, but we still, we have a decent bit to come down here. So that will be the level I would be taking. And yeah, volume profile will be hard to pull here just because of the price action. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful confluence with your value area high. I would be looking at this, and then what this volume profile does is it gives you insight into kind of what we are going to potentially have in store for us if we wind up breaking the 786 retracement. You'll get accepted back into this area of balance, and you could wind up working your way back down to the POC and potentially even the value area low. So there you go. There is Caspa. All right, let's continue on here. and see what we got. Let's see. V-Chain. Dang, we have not looked at V-Chain in quite some time. Take a look at the okay, we'll just clear the chart. Dang, V-Chain just getting okay. Sitting on pretty strong support here. I'm going to pull this range right about here. Let's see. No divergence. Yeah, whoops. What is going on here? Where did we go? There we go. Yeah, looking for a green dot here on the 2-day. 3-day looking to roll up as well. No divergences. I'd like to see a divergence. Higher time frames do look like they may want to roll back to the upside. God, money flow on the 6-day with a red dot. That doesn't look the best. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 12. Yeah, this is ugly, guys. This is nasty. I'm going to pull a local range right here on the 4-hour. I'll just go local with this because this thing is just boring as all get out. Okay. So, yeah, below your local range here, let's check the 2-hour money flow crossing over into the green, but you have a 2-hour bearish divergence. This is a mess. V-Chain is garbage to look at right now. Yeah, bearish divergence printing on your 2-hour. I would say that is more locally bearish. Is the divergence really there, though? I would look. Yeah, it's not the strongest. I would look for just. This looks like it just wants to consolidate, to be honest with you. Take a look at the 4-hour. Red dot looking, yeah. I would look. Let's see. I would look for support right here. I would look for a potential move down based off this 4-hour red dot. But yeah, I would look for support on your golden pocket 786 retracement. But yeah, this is just chop city. Chop city. I would look for a local move down into this golden pocket before looking for a bounce on V-Chain. Other than that, I will say your key level of resistance, we've wicked into this area a couple times. If you could get above this level, pretty nice volume gap all the way up to this level here. So I would look for a cool off into this blue box, and if you could continue up and break above this level, I'd look for a quick move up to this level right here. Other than that, looking very choppy. And money flow is coming up on the 4-hour. So that is basically what I'd look for on V-Chain. Move down, potential higher low, and then a shot up into this low volume gap to revisit this these lows back here, which is also the shelf of volume from right here, as you can see. Massive gap into a giant high volume node. So there you go. That's what I would look for on V-Chain. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Oh, that's it. All right, so let's take a real quick. How are we doing on time? Okay, yeah, we got time. Let's take a real quick look at APT, and these will be the last altcoins for the night. APT and Solana. Let's see. Daily. Let's pull it right here. All right, I mean, in the macro, just zooming out a bit here, I mean, you're just stuck on this high volume node. I'm not expecting anything really exciting to happen for Aptos until you get above these levels here. I'm going to pull up this macro value area low. Macro value area high. So bear with me, guys, while I go ahead and mark this value area high, value area low. And then your POC is going to be right about here. Mark that POC. Boom. And then we'll get rid of that. Okay, so these are kind of the macro levels, right? If you lose this range, I would look for definitely a move lower. You got to get above this massive high volume node. That's really what it is. Like, even if you break out of this range, you do have a decent bit of resistance up here. So, yeah, let's zoom into the 4-hour here. Zoom, stretch it out. Let's get rid of this. So, yeah, you're not only resisting your local POC, but also your macro POC. Yeah, this, let's take a look at the daily. Let's see. I would look for consolidation here, guys. I mean, what happened? Low, high, low, high, low, high. Probably working your way down to the low, especially with your VWAP cooling off on the daily like that. 12-hour looking for a red dot. 10-hour, 8-hour printing red dots. Let's check those lower time frames. 30-minute money flow crossover into the red. Not the best look. So, yeah, I would look for a move down to your value area low here. Coming in at about $6.86. So, yeah, locally, I would look for a move down to this value area low, and that is where I would look for some kind of a bounce to come in. Yeah, this is the zone of support I would be looking at right here. Pretty nice trifecta of confluence. You got your 786, your golden pocket, and your value area low. Could get a bounce there. Now, and money flow coming up on the 10-hour as well. 6-hour money flow crossing over into the green. Yeah, that's what I would look for. I would look for a bounce within this blue box to put in a higher low, and then potentially, making attempts to get back above that POC. However, you still got all these highs to fight. So I would just look to continue to respect this range until you break below this blue box or above this value area high, more specifically above these highs here at $8.32. But yeah, as long as you're in this range, I would really just look for these levels to get respected. So looking for a move down to this blue box and a potential bounce back up to your value area high. So there you go. There is Aptos. Let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. Let's see. Zoom in, stretch her out, and let's clear these brushes. Take a look. I'm actually going to go ahead and start. Okay. Let's get rid of all these levels. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. So I will continue to look at this value area. Let's go ahead and whoa. Okay. So let's take a look at the daily. Let's get rid of all this stuff here. Come on. There we go. All right. Money flow coming back up here on the daily. VWAP coming down. Let's see. What are the higher time frames? Look at that. Ooh, look at that trigger wave. Look at that trigger wave on the 2-day. Not looking too bad. Could give you a move up there. But locally. Ooh, hang on. Yeah, daily VWAP is cooling off. 12-hour looking for a red dot. 16-hour or 10-hour looking for a red dot. 16-hour, 12-hour, all looking for red dots. 8-hour printing a red dot, as well as a technical bearish divergence here. Almost. That's exaggerated. I wouldn't pay much attention to that. Take a look at the 5-hour. Yeah, money flow crossing over into the green on. Ooh. This is higher time frame direction is hard to analyze on this. Yeah, I would look for a potential cool-off. I would look for a potential cool-off here on Solana for more than one reason. You have a confirmed bearish divergence here on the 2-hour. You wound up getting your 786 retracement. You're now rejecting your golden pocket, looking to roll over on the 2-hour. Taking a look at the 4-hour. VWAP is rejecting or reversing pretty aggressively here. Looking for a red dot. I would be cautious of a potential sweep of these highs and then a potential bigger move to the downside. However, with the way money flow looks, I would be very cautious of a bounce. Yeah, these are the levels I would look at. Let's come down to the 1-hour. Pull a more local fib here. Yeah, this is what I would look for on Yeah, this is what I would look for on Solana, guys. You held support on your value area low, but you are starting to get some reversal signs here locally. I would like to put in some divergences here on the lower time frames. I mean, you have the confirmed divergence right here on a lot of time frames. Let's see. 8-hour was printing a red dot. Let's check that 24 and 30-minute money flow. Oh, starting to come out. I would look for a cool-off here. Confirmed bearish divergence on many time frames with that 786 and golden pocket retracement. I would look for a potential reversal here, and I will go ahead and pull a local range. Yeah, this is what I'd look for, guys. 15-minute. Ooh, baby. Yeah, so what we do, guys, is we zoom into the lower time frames. I try to find the sideways price action on the lower time frames if I'm looking for a short entry. Because, again, confirmed divergence here on things like the 1 hour, right? I will point it out so you guys can see it. Higher highs, lower highs. Money flow starting to come out here. 16-hour looking for a red dot. So as this 1 hour money flow starts to leak out, that along with that 16-hour red dot could give you a significant move to the downside. And on top of that, your 8-hour and your 30-minute money flow, 8-hour red dot with your 30-minute money flow generally coming out is indicative of a little bit of a pullback, right? So what I will do is come down to the lower time frames and look for a local signal. I'll basically trade the local value area. So for me, I would look for like a divergence at the value area high or something like that. So we could put some kind of a divergence or some kind of a signal to get a move down here. That is where I would look to enter a short from the value area high, targeting the value area low in hopes that that 16-hour red dot prints and those higher time frame red dots start to print, giving us a bigger move to the downside. And that's kind of how I get the sniper entries, right? The higher, like those actual, not entering down here and then going for a ride before the actual dump. I'll go locally, pull the range, and then just trade the local range in hopes of an eventual breakdown, right? The 16-hour red dot with the 1 hour money flow coming out would indicate that we may break this range to the downside. So why not go to the lower time frames and get a entry at the value area high, look to come to the low, and then if you lose the low, you could turn that little scalp trade, a little scalp short from the high to the value area low, which would be a 2% move, right? And then if price does get down there, you can move your stop loss into profit, right, for wherever that might be, and then you could target a lower price as that 16-hour red dot could potentially break you down below this range. So there you go, kind of identifying the environment, as CryptoFace would say, identifying the environment on the higher time frame, again, with that 16-hour red dot, 1 hour money flow coming out, would indicate a bigger move down, right? And then you could also look at more macro things like this, like, and again, golden pocket retracements from the high to the low. We just looked at this golden pocket 786 retest. That's a likely place to put in a lower high before continuing to the downside. So that's kind of what I would look for on Solana. Really would just be a potential move down. I would like to see, like right here on the 15-minute, if we could come up here, guys, 15-minute, come sweep these highs, put in a bearish divergence. That is where I would potentially look to get a move down to your value area low and then reassess the situation when you get down there to see if we can get a bigger move down to this golden pocket or this 786, coming in closer to about 23.55. So there you go. Little freebie there. That's exactly what I would be looking for. And there you go. So there you go. There is Solana, guys. Let's go ahead and shout out to Dave Digital said sniper. Did somebody say sniper? Candle dinosaur. What does the dinosaur mean? Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Point blank duck hunting. Let's go. We were talking games. Can you repeat that? Shout out to Wig589. Yeah, shout out to Duck Hunter. What a classic. You can't play them on new TVs, though. You need a tube TV to play that. It's because of the way the gun works. All right. Let's go ahead and, I think that's all the time we got for today's live stream, guys. What are we at here? Yeah, there we go. How many likes did we get? Probably pretty brutal in an environment like this. 322 likes, guys. That might be a record breaker as far as likes go. Let's see. Pull up the picker wheel, baby. Bada boom, bada bing. Pull it up. Freight. Hang on. Oh, Shell Dino. Is Sheldon's thing like a dinosaur? Shell Dino? That's pretty funny. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Frankie probably never saw an arcade. Wig589. I have been, I remember when Nathan's had arcades. So I'm young-ish. I mean, not really anymore. I'm like 32. But I don't know. Wick, how old are you? Let me know. I don't know how old anybody in chat is. I'm 32. So they used to go to Nathan's Arcade with my dad all the time. Great times to be had. I miss, like, arcades aren't really a thing. They used to have one in my mall here down in the ATL, except they closed it down because, like, everybody just plays games on their phones and, they just stay home. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm turning into, like, a cranky old man. Like, bring back, I remember when arcades used to be fun, and now everybody's just on their dang cellular devices. Yeah. 420 years old. Shout out to Dream Tanks. Let's go. Let's see. Poor guy thinks we're not old. That's like I'm senile. It's okay, Frankie. It's okay, buddy. All right, let's see. 32. Shout out to Greg. 24. Laser Edits is 24. Let's go. Shout out to Laser Edits. Jessica got 45. Jess knows up. It's been 84. It's been 84 years. Shout out to Crimson Caravan Company. What's going on, bro? Zeus Cash said, my mom caught me swearing playing Mario Brothers, and then I said you can't play it and not swear. She tried and swore. Told me to close the door so they couldn't hear me. That's Zeus Catch. Yo, your parents are goated, man. Go ahead, play this without cursing, Mom. And they're like, okay, fine. It's really frustrating, but shut the door. I don't want to hear it. That's pretty funny. Let's see. We were born only a couple of months apart, I believe. I was March of 91. Oh, hey, Patrick. I was April of 92. Let's go. Shout out to Patrick Leishman. 44, 51. Shout out to Wheels. 59. Shout out to Jerry Long. What is going on, bro? Same age as DZ and Kelly. 38, 39-ish, maybe. I think that's how old they are. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I always like to, I can look at the analytics on YouTube. Laser Edit, 69. About to be 44. Shout out to G Money. Yeah, I always wonder. Like, I always picture everybody on the other end of the camera, what you guys look like, how old you are. I feel like I kind of nail it. I picture like 25 and up is kind of how I picture it. 32 is young, man. I'm 32. Don't be doing us like that. Yeah. Shout out to Pub Chef Guy. Yeah, it's yeah, you're right. We are young. I remember when I turned 26. For some reason, when I turned 26, I thought my life was over. Like, I thought 25 sounded young, and then when I turned 26, I was like, man, I don't even want to celebrate. And then I turned 30, and I was like, man, I should have celebrated at 26. So that changed my perspective on everything. Now I am just every time it's not my birthday, I feel young. I only feel old on my birthday. All right, let's see. Now I really do feel young. 23 here. Shout out to the NLK or NL Cola Gamer. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, man. I feel like I was 23 like 2 days ago. That was almost 10 years ago. I cannot believe that. It's out of control. All right. I remember when Bugs Bunny was funny. 30 was a rough one. I'll be honest. 30 wasn't bad for me. 26 was much worse than 30 for me, but I think it might have been because I had a lot more going on when I was 30. So I was like more distracted. But when I was 26, I was like, dang, man, I'm getting old. Let's see. Frankie, do you have any yearly event that the community comes together at least once a year? Yeah. No, not yet. Bet Long Crypto, not yet, but we will be doing something. We're going to be doing meetups coming up soon if we can get enough people in one area to come do a meetup. I would love to do that. It really depends on how much of a show, how much of a turnout we get. Because if we're going to rent out a place, it's got to be like, we got to get enough people to fill it. You know what I mean? So yeah, we will 100% be doing CandleMafia meetups at some point for sure. But there you go, guys. There we go. God, price action's boring. The views are down, and the giveaway wheel is just like slacking out here. 2 giveaways. Add it to the wheel, guys, or add it to the giveaways. Shout out to Tyler Jordan said, Frank is old. He keeps forgetting that these are supposed to be shorter streams. Yes, shout out to Tyler Jordan. You are 100% right. And on that note, add 2 giveaways to this week's giveaways. And, guys, just a reminder, tomorrow I will not be going live. I am going to visit my sister to go ahead and visit my nephew and meet him for the first time. Shout out to my nephew, about to meet Frankie the Funkle for the first time. Super excited about that, but I will be traveling tomorrow, so I won't be completely gone. I will be working most of the day tomorrow. I'll be doing I'll be in the Discord. I will be doing either a premiere or some kind of I will be replacing. There will be something tomorrow. It'll probably be a premiere because I'll be driving. I want to try to get to my sister's house before 2 in the morning. But we will be doing something. It'll probably be a premiere, and I might do the giveaways on that premiere, or I'll push them to Monday. But we already pushed those giveaways to this Friday. But I didn't know I was gonna not be here at the time. Right? Or did we? I don't even know if we did giveaways last week. We do so many giveaways, it's hard to remember which ones we roll into another week. But anyway, not going live tomorrow, guys. It will be a premiere. Just a heads up, but we will be getting that content out to you guys because I can't be leaving you in the dark, even in this sideways action. I think anyone can guess where price is going to go. Simply, it's just going to go sideways. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us till the end of the stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here and spending your precious time with us here tonight to do, I guess, 2 hours of TA is what it turned into. But, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm gonna be faking you guys out with a YouTube premiere. But I will shout you guys in chat. I will shout you guys out in chat. Don't you worry. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow in that premiere, and I'll see you guys. Look out for the Sunday Sauce video, guys. On Sunday, we are dropping another video. This one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good. I'm trying to tease what it's about, but I recorded it a while ago, so I'm trying to remember what it's about. It's a millionaire. It's a millionaire video, and it might have something to do with, I'll just say, injections. I'll leave it there. If you can guess what it's going to be, that's on you. But, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. We have creative.
Try to take it, I'm getting it back. And if they hit me, they gotta get taxed. I'm making hit after hit after hit, and I promise you, boy, every one of them slap. Hop on a verse and I body it quick. They never work, and it's why we don't mix. I don't got time for the fake, and I swear that I'll always stay real, something they never did. Oh, they saying that I'm up next. I told them that I'm up now. Promise I came for the next. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. Oh, you should go ahead and write over. I was in a 4, leveled up to the Rover. Feeling like Blake, I'ma put him on a poster. I don't really play when it come to my checks. I've been in the gym, so you know I gotta flex. If I shoot a shot, then it's gonna be a wet dog. I'm coming for these meals, I ain't taking no less. Yeah, I ain't really taking no less. Now they tryna send me that text. I ain't hit them back, they stress. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same.
Yeah, Satoshi. No, not Kakamoto. No, the Satoshi. I need him now. Thank you. Satoshi's weight music, Lil Baby? Dang. Hey, what's up, Sat? Dude, listen, you said you were going to do something. I just had to go live and talk about just nothing. You're torturing me, dude. I know you're busy. Okay, that's fine. Just do me a favor. I'm going away tomorrow. I'm going to meet my nephew. It's my first nephew ever. Can you please just keep the sideways action? If you please do not move anything tomorrow. Don't do that to me, bro. You'll try. What do you mean? Please, bro. I help you out so much. You'll try. That's the best you're going to do. Dude, we're family, bro. Come on. You're not going to meet him. Just please don't move the price tomorrow. Just let me just have some time. All right, whatever, bro. Please. Okay, thanks. I'm going to try. Okay, yeah, try. Whatever, bro. Hold up. Okay. Listen, guys. Listen, that was guys, I have a brother. His name is Sal. I think I might have said Sat. It's Sal, bro. It's Sal. I was talking about guys, don't worry about what you just heard. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hang on. Don't worry about it. Just look right here. Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. Please. Right here. Stare right into that little thing right there. And bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the